What is going on, YouTube people? Haven't done a live stream in a while. Been like a week and a half since I've done a live stream. Not sure how long we're gonna go tonight. I definitely want to watch Warriors Nets, so maybe till around halftime of that. We'll see. What's probably going to be the determining factor of how long this stream lasts is how long my equipment lasts. My desktop PC has been acting up for about 2 weeks now. Video card problems. Works fine for everything else, but if I try to play any sort of game on it at all, video card crashes. I was lucky it was under warranty, so I had to ship the system back today. So I'm on my backup system, which is my MacBook Pro, but my regular camera wouldn't work, so I had to hook up a secondary camera. I don't have enough USB-C ports and enough hubs and USB ports, so it's right here. You guys can't see it, you guys and girls, but there's a whole situation going on, like right here. So either the camera battery is probably going to die, which I do have backups because I don't have enough plugs to power it, or the laptop battery might die. So we'll see what goes on here. This could be not super short, but I tried to charge a laptop beforehand, but it was a whole situation too. It's just a mess. It's a mess at the Neo compound. It's a mess. Absolute mess. What are you gonna do? Chat. What is going on, people? No specific topic to talk about today. We'll just gotta see where see where things takes us. There is a bunch of great games on tonight. I have Nets Warriors on the I have TNT on the TV off screen there. Jonathan India. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea who he is, so I have no thoughts. Justin, I haven't seen you around for a long time. What? Steve didn't know who Evan Mobley was? I'm so saddened that Evan Mobley is now out 2 to 4 weeks. Cavs TV was like appointment viewing for me, and now Mobley's out for a month. Ugh. I mean, CGC's not actually caught up. CGC's caught up opening boxes. That's a big difference. Like, it's not like there's no backlog. They still have a massive backlog. Just all the boxes are opened up. That's all that is. So, yeah, I still support what PSA did. Star stock auctions. I'm gonna wait to completely tackle this subject until after the live stream tomorrow night. So their CEO Scott, or I forget his specific title, is going live tomorrow to answer questions / Q&A. To me, it sounds like they want to be whatnot, but they're the ones selling. It's not like you're going to be able to put your inventory up for sale, at least initially. Anyway, that could change over time, but that's how it's gonna start out. Is that you're gonna need to you'll be basically just buying from them, and then it goes into your inventory. So I'm sure eventually it'll be that you could sell your own stuff too. But I just need more information. So I don't want to go. I may have some hot takes on that, but I need to see what they have to say tomorrow night. So maybe that'll be Thursday's video. I was talking about that. It does indeed suck. Mobley got hurt. He was probably on his way to battling Scotty Barnes for Rookie of the Year. Though Cade Cunningham's been playing really well. He started off not playing, and then he started off a little slow the first couple games, but he has really picked it up lately. His last couple games, Cade's looked pretty good too. Regardless, this NBA class is amazing, and Panini needs to get off its butt and get us some product. I want some Evan Mobley cards. Yeah, Mobley looks legit. I was planning on doing a wax video for this week, but I may have gotten sidetracked. I don't know yet. This whole computer situation kind of threw everything out of just crazy times. So I may still try to do that. Tomorrow's video is already recorded, and then I have one more video already recorded for later this week. So I have one open slot, but it'll probably be to discuss whatever the hell Star Stock does with this live auctions. Unless I push one this Saturday and squeeze in a second one. We'll just see. It just depends on how this setup goes. I'll figure it out. It's not like I can't do it, like what I need to do from here. It's just rejiggering everything. I don't have as many monitors. I'm down 2 monitors. It's a mess. It's a mess. The things we get used to. Bulls look good too. Lonzo looks legit. That's a shame. That's a shame. The Joker looks amazing. His numbers are ridiculous. He is actually having a better season than last year. And no one will probably give him any MVP love because that's just kind of how things work. Base Prism, you probably should have sold 2 months ago or a month ago. If you're just talking about base. I feel like a little kid, like I'm down too low. It's this camera angle is weird on this camera, the way I have to have it set up. Yeah, for sure. There's still a massive backlog. I don't know what's going on with Baker yet this week. I know that he had that little knee injury or whatever leg injury thing towards the end of the game, but I haven't heard anything. We'll probably get something tomorrow when they practice. I almost wish they'd sit him again and let Case go against the Lions and get him like a week of rest before the Ravens. Well, I mean, I assume you sent, it all comes down to how you sent it. I'm guessing the CGC order was express, unless you were one of the lucky ones that they fast tracked through the new system. Don't you think if PSA opens back up regular service has to be a massive cap on the amount of cards you could send to prevent a backup again? Yeah, the rumor is that there's going to be a cap. I don't know what it is yet. We'll wait to see December 1st, 2nd, 3rd, whenever the announcement comes. But I 100% believe there'll be a cap for sure. I mean, I don't know that we know what Star Stock did yet. That's why I'm kind of holding back. Because as of right now, I don't believe it's you listing your own product for auction. It's Star Stock selling stuff to you. So I'm sure that'll change over time. And it's not just like going to be eBay where you just post a thing whenever you want and it goes. It's more Whatnot style where it's like a live stream for 1 hour a night. That's it. So it's not, let's hold our horses here on, hold our horses here on what the Star Stock auctions actually are. Rip at $100 a card, it's still not like everything goes. How do I collect and buy cards with a budget of $0? Do something to get yourself a budget of more than $0. Steph, it kind of feels like you're buying high, because his stuff is way up since the start of the season. But that team's really good, and Steph already has the resume. So, like worst case scenario, you could just hold it long term. But that team's good, and they have options. Like they're going to get Klay Thompson back. I was just listening to one of the ESPN podcasts today that said Klay's looked really good in practice. And then they have the pieces and parts to make a deal. They have a bunch of young guys. I believe they still have a draft pick hanging out. So they could go add a piece as well. I just don't think DC gets the hype that Marvel does. I'm not a DC guy. You won't catch me buying DC stuff 9 times out of 10, probably 9.5 times out of 10. So could it be a play? Yeah, for sure. I could be sleeping on it too because I'm just not a DC guy. I just do not enjoy most DC stuff. Hey, what's up, Charles? We've only been going for like 10 minutes. You haven't missed much. Probstein never left eBay. You're thinking of PWCC. Yeah, PSA Express is absolutely flying, which is why I think we're getting regular service back, because PSA Express is just there cranking them out. Yikes. I assume you can just buy eBay gift cards online. I did not scoop on anything on PWCC. You'll see it probably in a video next week. My buying days are on pause for a while. I just bought something massive. It should be here Saturday, but we got a big one coming. So got to restock the fake money pile. You're welcome, Ty. I agree with this. I agree with Todd's statement here about the DC market. It's always going to hold value. Batman's always going to be really popular. Superman's always going to be really popular, especially the Golden Age books and stuff, and key first appearances and stuff like that, like on the comic side. But it's just never going to have. I mean, never's a long time, but it just doesn't have the MCU and Disney behind it. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, if you guess right on the position player, it'll go up, sure, but it's a minefield. Like, cool, Cooper Cup and James Conner are going up. I just watched that video actually before going live. But like, there's a billion position players. Everyone else is going down. So it's one you would, to even equal out your losses, you'd basically have to just pick the one guy and get lucky. I don't know. To me, position players are not worth it. No thanks. I don't really know that anyone is in particular. I still think Herbert is a little overvalued, given the way that their season's kind of fallen apart. Originally, I would have said Kyler's undervalued, but now he's hurt again. So I don't know. Football market's weird, man. Ah. How do you approach buying 1980s-ish non-sports cards with 0 or 2 comps, then consider graded versus non-graded? You just got to kind of best guess it. You know what I mean? Like whatever you feel comfortable putting out there. See if you can find something that's comparable in a different, like if it's, say it's a Marvel card, and you're looking at a Wolverine. Is there a Deadpool? Like, can you find a character on an equal level or equal popularity? If you're talking about something like that, maybe you could try to get a gauge off price for that. Maybe look at other sets. That stuff just gets tricky. You just got to kind of best guess it. CSG still has a long way to go, in my opinion. I agree. The slab's gorgeous. The label sucks. And they still need to gain a ton of market share. They're never going to be I don't think they're going to be number one. Not with their grading scale. I don't see it with their grading scale them being number one. It's a secret, Steven. You'll see it when the mail comes, when the mailman brings it. Actually got a couple packages coming. I bought a lot the last. Whew, it was an expensive last couple days. That's for sure. Hey, what's up, 357? Toy Store Collects. We'll see in a couple days. I have 2 packages coming. I actually bought I bought something on the A1 Comics, which is a massive comic book shop out in California. This was not the big purchase. This was a medium purchase, and then I didn't realize I was going to be making the other purchase. A1 Comics, big IG seller of comic books, massive shop out in California, does IG claim sales every Wednesday and Friday night, and I picked up 2 books out of their claim sale on Friday night. The 2 that I'd actually been looking for, so I combo dealed up, got a little bit of a discount. So those should be here Friday. The other one will be here Saturday. I'll probably hold all that for the same video. One big mail day video. Yes, someone noticed the Sentinel. That came in the other day. My little buddy back there. That's the old HasLab Sentinel back there. It's over 2 feet tall. It's a big boy. You can see it for scale next to a comic book there, and it's actually bigger than Slave 1. He towers over Slave 1, and he's actually sitting on a shelf slightly lower. So, yeah, that's my little buddy. He does light up. I just don't have him turned on right now. Yeah, PSA Express is not messing around. Once again, the Star Stock auction, I don't know that it's what we think it is. So if you actually read the announcement, like click down and read the actual announcement and not just go off the headline, I don't think it's not eBay. It's not going to be PWCC. It's more like Whatnot. It's only 1 hour, 1 night a week is the way I understand it. Once again, I'll do a full video breaking it down once they do their Q&A thing tomorrow. There's just still too much we don't know. I will admit, as much as I'm not a DC guy, the new Batman movie looks good. I will definitely be seeing it. Are you cracking them, Josh, or are you sending them already in the slab? If you're sending them already in the slab, it's nearly impossible. You got to crack them. Yeah, I thought about doing a video on this. I don't know, like, where's everyone at with buying? Are we buying the dip? Is everyone holding out? What are we doing? Yeah, Tatum stuff's getting cheap. Tatum, I didn't realize it got this low because I wasn't following it that closely. I have a Tatum Premier level base. Man, did that thing crater. If it wasn't for DC's history, it wouldn't even be close. I'll answer this in reverse order. I'm excited for Spider-Man Metal. I have 4 boxes pre-ordered for whenever that product comes out, hopefully soon, because I'm in the mood to rip. I want to rip something. And then I got some comic books on the way. Got some comic books coming. I got two coming from A1 Comics and a private sale that'll all be here this weekend. What's up, little sports card investor? Stickers are in the process of being ordered. The deal is finalized. I'm just waiting for them to finish it up. It actually should be this week. I was hoping for it a little bit sooner. But hopefully I should have them soon. I ordered 100 just to start off, just to kind of see. If I just straight say it, it'll give too much away, Justin. You'll see. You'll see. Yeah, I didn't follow much last night. There wasn't much. Oops, autofocus keeps picking up the Sentinel. I didn't follow too much last night. I have some stuff flagged for tonight, but once again, I'm kind of in a spending holding period till the fake money pile gets filled back up again. I need to sell some stuff. I sold a bunch of stuff at 101 trade night and then immediately spent all that money. A lot of good guesses in chat. We got Soto, we got Jim Brown, we got comic books. Yeah, Mark Price banner. I got that from his jersey retirement night. Got Jim Brown rookie. Yeah, you got to crack. Got to crack. BBG is not more strict than PSA. That is for damn sure. It's because people don't. Most of the secondary, I always get in trouble when I say this like this. Broadly speaking, at least on ultra modern, the secondary market really doesn't want SGC slabs, so they barely pay a premium for an SGC 10. Why would they pay a premium for an SGC 9.5? Documents are overrated in general, or documentaries rather. I feel so. I don't think it gets any boost at all. My slabs definitely has the deal. Could be. It's hard. I mean, it's really difficult right now to say anything's a play. It's just, it's getting a little ugly out there. Oh, look at this. The PMG King wants a Batman. Could you imagine a blue Batman PMG or like a gray one or something? Woo! Yeah, just a little PSA hate in there, it looks like. LeBron's bouncing all over the place. I have the PSA 8, so I kind of track the prices on that in my collection on Market Movers. And it got down to like 16, 1700 for a hot minute. Now it's back up to 2K again. This is a risky proposition, depending on the base. If it's ultra modern base, as long as if it's cheap prospecting, I'm okay with it. But I don't know. Roman sports cards. What is going on? What is your view on subgrades? Many content creators say they are important. PSA and SGC don't use them. What gives? I think they're overrated for an investing and collecting standpoint. I think collectors like subgrades. I think us evil, greedy investors / flippers don't care. We just want a 10. So I take or leave subgrades. They're semi nice to have, but I own 2 BGS cards. Right? Yeah, 2 BGS cards. Well, there's 3 BGS cards in the house. That'll be the video later this week, maybe Friday or Saturday. Actually bought my wife a card for her birthday. Given the pop counts, I think they still have a ways to go, at least on Zion and maybe even Luca. The problem is when you have 20,000 of something like Luca and Zion, it just takes a lot to move that number back up again. And right now, that demand is not there. Now, could that change? Sure, absolutely. But whether it's me or other people saying, the hate for base statements out there, whether you like it or not, and I get that some people don't, and I understand why they don't, but the hobby has shifted towards, or at least the investor hobby. Collectors will do their thing; they'll collect whatever they want, which is fine. But the greedy, evil money grubbers have shifted towards silver, color matches, all that jazz. So it's just hard, especially on modern product. Like, look at LaMelo. Let's just talk about LaMelo Ball for a second. I was actually thinking about this today while I was driving around the car. This is what goes through my head as I drive around in the car for work all day. Like, say LaMelo is Jordan. In 20 years, 30 years, like, what's going to be his card? Like, there's so many options. Everything is so watered down. And that hurts base even more because there's just a billion different options to choose from. So, like, that doesn't do the fact that one base has a super high pop count. There's going to be a ton of LaMelo base prisms. Just to use him as an example. Can't even talk. And then on top of having 20,000 base prism LaMelos, now you got 10,000 different variations. You got silvers, purple discos, whatever. There's a ton of them. So it's just really hard. People building out the whole DC PMG line here. I don't know, but if I had them, I'd be selling as fast as possible. I've spent more on comic books in the last couple weeks than I have anything else. Actually sold cards to buy comic books. I think base is still good to have in the case. Like, I still have some base. It's good for closing deals or putting you over the edge. You know, you got like a job, prison base. You need like to bridge the gap of $200 on a deal and you don't want to put cash in, like stuff like that. Base is always going to have its place because everyone's always going to need an entry point. Not everyone is walking in with, you know, a ton of money. There needs to be a thing for people to come in that have $100 budget, buy some $5 or $10 base cards, maybe even less, like semi-prospecting, like Jordan Poole base cards before the season started for like $1 and then sell them for $10 in season. Like, that's still a thing. I think, myself included, we lose sight of that as our collection grows. We lose sight of the fact that that still needs to exist. There needs to be a place for someone to go buy a card for $2 and flip it for 5 or 10 so they could start snowballing their bankroll so they could get into graded base, move from raw base to graded base, from graded base to raw color, from raw color to graded color, and, you know, so on and so forth, and work your way up the food chain. So there's always going to be a place for that base level entry market. But on the flip side of that, for the big money swings, that's not going to happen on base anymore, I don't think. I really don't see, like, I don't see a Luka base Prism being $1,000 card ever again. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I mean, maybe, you know, he wins 5 championships or something, different story. But let's just say Luka has an average full career, wins 1 title, has an MVP, and is a perennial playoff player for his entire career. I mean, his base card's not going to be over $1,000 at all. So, you know, it's all relative. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a lot of that too. My case continues to get smaller and smaller. Some 90s books are. You can look them up on 130 Point, just like any sports card, or eBay sold listings to give you a rough idea. I'm sure a lot of people are. It just depends on what price tier they send it in at. You know, if you send in a bunch of junk at $9 a card, it's not that big of a deal. If you send in a bunch of junk at $30 a card, different story. Yeah, I keep meaning to do the PO box thing, and it always slips my mind. I have the paperwork printed out for it and everything. All right, so the big difference between The Last Dance and now is when The Last Dance came out, there wasn't anything on TV. When The Last Dance came out, there was no sports. The real sports hadn't come back yet. Everything was still in lockdown and pandemics, or there was no live sporting events. We were desperate for literally anything new on television to watch. And that documentary hit, and it was the only live sporting event we have, and it became event television because it was the only thing that was on. That is why prices swung so hard during the Jordan documentary. Now a documentary comes out, nobody cares because no one's going to watch a documentary. They're going to watch Nets Warriors. So, or, you know, the people that will watch it are much less. It doesn't grab the zeitgeist. It's not all over Twitter. It's not all over social media. Huge difference. The Last Dance documentary was a unicorn of an event. Hopefully we never see anything like that again, where like the entire world is shut down and it's the only new thing on TV. People were desperate for anything to watch. I have no idea trying to understand human beings. Serial number's cool. You know, I still personally like, you know, silver hollows, color match. You can get numbered to line up with that. That's cool. I don't know that we know that BGS is more strict. They just have different. They have different grading scales. It's not that they're more strict. They have different grading scales. Henry Ruggs will play in the California Penal League. That's about it. Any thoughts on Durant values? He's been lights out all season, yet only his base PSA 10 is up. Everything else is way down. Pretty much everything is way down. So I haven't dug specifically in a deep dive on Durant cards, but that's the difference. I bought my wife a Marvel card. I'll tease that. You'll see that in a video once again Friday or Saturday probably for that one. That's already recorded. Very interesting Marvel card. Very unique. Something I knew that they existed, but I hadn't really done a big deep dive on it. Something I kind of stumbled across. Do you think it has a weird inverse effect, making BGS 10s even more valuable than they already are because of the rarity? No, I don't think so at all. If anything, the gap between PSA 10s and BGS 10s has narrowed. Last I checked, it's tough. It's really tough to check comps on that stuff. But no, I don't think that happens at all. I've always wanted a KD Chrome 9. I always just kept missing the boat on it just to replace it with, like, there's something else always jumped in front of it in line. I would really like to trade in the one. It could be. I'm not a baseball prospect guy, but if you really know that market, you could probably make a killing on that. I still think, as much as I don't like what they've done over the last few months, I still think if you were just starting out, putting $50 on Star Stock and trying to turn it into something would be a good learning lesson. Yeah, eye appeal definitely matters in the older stuff. Yeah, I mean, that random stuff is going to get hurt harder. We kind of know, like, sure, an MPJ PSA 10 pop is 5,500, but realistically, we know that that's a 20,000 pop card because there's 20,000 Luka PSA 10s from the same year. So you could reasonably argue, even though they're not in PSA slabs yet, there's about 20,000 of those cards that exist. It also doesn't help that, he hurt his back and played terribly, then hurt his back, and now isn't even playing. 2,000 Omicron football. I mean, yeah, I'd let that thing ride. Sealed wax is a great overall investment, especially the older stuff. You're never going to be able to rip that though. You know what I mean? Like, you're either going to sell that for massive amounts of money, and that's pretty much about it. If you rip it, you're toast. I personally just don't see it. I mean, you do you. You got a plan. You think you got it under control. Execute. Don't let anyone tell you different. If you got solid foundation, you did your homework, and you feel good about it, don't let someone talk you off of it. It's not for me, though. That's all I'll say. It's not for me. Yeah, documentaries are the most overrated thing ever. They might get a very slight bump. That's about it, in my opinion. I've heard, yeah, prisms specifically and the silvers. There's something very specific about LaMelo's silver prisms that are way off. I think they're way off centered. Any advice for a comic book novice? Spend a bunch of time on YouTube. And honestly, I mean, friend of the channel, he hasn't been on this channel. I should actually have him on at some point in time, but I've been on his channel multiple times. I would spend a ton of time going through Reggie Collects videos. He's probably the best comic book YouTuber out there. He has topic videos on literally any topic you could ever think of that it's going to explain it 1,000 times better than me. If you're just doing it as a fan, specifically dig into the characters and or teams and or whatever you like and start with that and then work your way out from there. So if you're a big X-Men guy or girl, dig into X-Men. If you're a big Deadpool person, Batman, Spider-Man, whatever, and just start doing your homework from there and work your way out. I'm not sure on the declared value. I don't know what's the declared value on it. What was it before? I don't remember. Like a couple thousand. I'm gonna say a couple thousand. Yeah, I pulled all mine. I have some Baker Mayfield slabs, like some PSA 9s that I left on there. But I pulled every slab that I had on there. You know, maybe the auction thing changes things, but let's see what they say tomorrow. Yeah, I mean, part of me is this is normal. The same thing happened in every other sport. The season starts and the stuff goes down. This like isn't rocket science. Um, you know, some stuff ticks up for the guys. You know, Dakota likes to say it's all about expectations. The guys that didn't have a bunch of high expectations, um, didn't if you don't have high expectations, then you'll overperform the expectations. Your card prices go way up. Luca has super high expectations, and then it crashes back down again. Another prediction for Juan Soto, huh? Okay, we'll see. I will say the thing that's coming Saturday has been named in this chat. Someone hit it. We don't know enough about Star Stock auctions yet, so I don't want to go too far out on that limb. Yeah, CGC is not taking them currently. There's nowhere right now I would trust sending a Marvel card to, especially if you want to resell it. SGC resale value is not there. You're probably waiting out on PSA. Unless you just want to get it slabbed, then I would go SGC. I would not use any of the other ones. CGC would 100% be a viable option, but they're just not. They don't have their stuff together. I have no idea what CGC is doing, or I'm sorry, what Panini is doing with current level product. I did not have a chance to watch that yet. It's because documentaries don't matter anymore. Thank you very much, Robert. You shouldn't always agree with me. I'm not always right. I'm by no means always right. I do like Team CGC as well, but he mostly, as much as I like his content, he's just going over lists. Whereas Reggie actually gives you a lot of in-depth information. I like Transformers. I'm a big Transformers guy. Are you talking about like the actual toys, comic books? I'm not the only guys I like from the 2020, 2021 class are I mean, Lamelo does look pretty good. I don't know that he's the best player on a championship team. Good. We'll see. I think he's a 2, not a 1. When it comes to that, Anthony Edwards has shown some flashes. He's cooled off a little bit. Tyrese Maxey is showing some stuff. A few of the other guys are having some pretty good seasons, but I'm not that big on the 21 class. I'm sorry, the 20 class. Sorry about that. If you zig another zag, how about not being in the zigzag mode more modern? Isn't that a zig or is that a zag? Modern is maybe 0.1% of the actual cards thinking independently. I think I understood most of that. Closer playoffs come, more it'll get hot. Maybe. Here's the thing about playoffs. Only a couple guys are going to keep going on. So if you guys think you got some weird system figured out with base, more power to you. Man, hockey is getting pumped to death right now. That's all, SCI has been doing all the hockey videos lately. It's all over the place. Sorry about that. I was just getting a text. Completely cashed out of Star Stock. But yeah, hockey's getting a lot of buzz. It's on ESPN now. I slept on that. A lot of people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be on ESPN now." I missed that one. Not that I would even know who to buy in hockey besides Connor McDavid. I know like the big guys. I know Connor. I know Sidney Crosby because I used to go to Penguins games. Ovechkin. What is that? Austin Matthews, I think, is the other one that everyone's in love with. Ovechkin. I actually wouldn't mind going to a Blue Jackets game at some point in time. I'm probably gonna get conned into or FOMO'd into picking up some Mobley stuff. I hope his stuff's cheap since he's a big man. Yeah. Things are still a little higher than they used to be. I'm not touching it at $3.99 a box. I got mine at $2.25, I think. I bought 4 boxes when they first popped up on David Adams, and boy, do I regret not buying more. I said, let me just get 4. I could get more later. And then later came and they were $400 a box. $400 a box is a joke. Best place to send comic books. Any idea on cost? I mean, for grading, CGC is pretty much the only option. No idea on cost. I buy them already slabbed. Another guess we've had. So we've seen, there's been a multiple different guesses, but there's been a Big Soto, a Jim Brown rookie, a Hulk 181, and a few other things have been thrown out. I think it goes under 500. We talked about that a little bit earlier, Retro 13, but I do think it goes under 500. Everything is indeed good. I know the vintage toys go strong. I don't know anything about the die-cast models, but I know the vintage toys do good. So the Zion news today is that he's going to be allowed to do one-on-one drills. We'll see. Does it get to under 2K by the time Christmas rolls? At this point, I think if everything stays on track, maybe we see him in early to mid-December. Question mark? I don't know. I think actually, I'm going to rephrase that. I think we still don't see him till almost Christmas. And then it's what does he look like when he comes back? So. It could. I just think a lot of people are out on. I think a lot of people feel burned by football. How many people made money in the football market if you carried cards in the season? Most people are taking a bloodbath on football. I've read bits and pieces of the Luber Manifesto. I just have not had time. It is a work. I've heard a lot about it. Card Talk Pod did a good breakdown of it, so I listened to that there. But I have not sat down and read all 53 pages or whatever it is. Is it though? I don't see. I don't know that is something off. Maybe that's right. Autofocus definitely likes to look at the Sentinel. Two of those that you listed are non-licensed products. So you shouldn't be buying Optic Baseball. You should not be buying Mosaic Baseball. You should not be buying Prism Baseball. It's a junk product. Unless it's good for kids and it's good if you're just like a pure collector. Sure, it's worthless. It's literally worthless for the most part. Topps Chrome, the problem is that the rookies suck. I don't think there's a good rookie out of 2021 Topps product. I remember Filmington did a video on this, I think, talking about the 2021 class in baseball, and then it's garbage because Franco didn't make the cut. So I don't think there's no great chase, so no one really cares. And that stuff's printed into the ground too. Yeah, the Cavs are like the walking wounded right now. I mean, Mac is going to get the most hype for sure. I think I like Fields next best. Trevor Lawrence looks a little sketch, but maybe he'll figure things out. He's still young. And Trey Lance is like the ultimate unknown. I did not get the Jim Brown auto, Paul. I was going to potentially trade for it, but I thought that he was a little overpriced on it, so I passed. It depends on how they beat the Cowboys. If he doesn't look good doing it, then no. Yeah, I just haven't been to a hockey game in forever. I mean, I think I said this on a video the other day. The last time I was at a hockey game, I watched Lemieux and Yager play together. I mean, I'll date myself on that one. So, I've seen this comment a lot on a lot of my videos, people talking about, oh, there's retail sitting on shelves, yada, yada, yada. Sure, but it's literally retail nobody wants. No one wants Draft Picks Chronicles. No one wants Optic Baseball. So, nice. Good job. Yeah, I saw someone else say the Optic Hollows there. I was basing it on Prism Silver because that's still the go-to. The Zion Optic Hollow gets a little discounted because the pitcher's terrible. Where on earth are a lot of things? No Prism football yet. We still have last year's NBA draft class product coming out. I briefly glanced at some hockey stuff. Someone said Ovechkin to the moon. The rookie cards are super expensive already. The pop counts are relatively low on like Upper Deck Young Guns, and they cost a fortune, like an absolute fortune, like 4, 5, 6K for PSA 10 cards. I'm like, what is going on over here? People are repping Space Jam cards because there's LeBron autos in there and 1 out of 2 billion packs. People don't care about the kids anymore. They care about money. If you haven't sold, then you haven't done well yet because they could crash tomorrow. I'm not up on the young MLB guys. I'm not buying the homes. I generally don't buy a lot of football. I used to go to Browns games a lot back in my younger days. I'd go to 1 or 2 games a year. They were a ton of fun. I would just prefer now to stay at home and watch them on TV. Honestly, I would rather have the Browns on one channel, Red Zone on another TV, and have a million screens around me than deal with humanity. Cavs games, I went to a ton of Cavs games. I have not been to a Cavs game since LeBron left the second time. My best friend and I were Cavs season ticket holders for the entire 4 years. Bron was back. Not a full season. We had like a 25 game plan. So I went to, I was at most of the home NBA Finals games, some of the early Eastern Conference Finals games. I was at the game when they raised the banner after they won the championship. Best sporting event of my life was Game 6 of the NBA Finals when they beat the Warriors to force a Game 7 the year that they won it. When Curry threw his mouthpiece and all that stuff, I was in the stands for that. That was a lot of fun. I got it the next day, Paul. He wanted 3K on it for an ungraded auto. I just didn't like the centering on it. It was really off top to bottom. So we'll see. I have no idea when Prism Football is coming. I think, once again, football is fine to play with. You just got to sell it before the season starts. I mean, I've been saying this for a year now. I said it last year before the season started. I said it this year. You just got to sell it before the season starts. Do not carry football in the season. I've been saying it forever. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what Jay's saying. Reggie Collects is just really good. Reggie Collects Comics is really good, even if you don't collect comics. He's a very good YouTube content creator. And has very good topics, very good videos, very focused, very level-headed, non-hype driven at all. Quality content, really good dude. I'm glad that I've gotten a chance to know him through doing content. So I've been on his channel, I think 3 times now, 2 or 3 times. And we've had some offline conversations as well. He has been an absolute asset to have in my back pocket whenever I have random questions. He's a really good dude. What's up, Tom? Latest graded comic book pickups. I have one. It'll be in a video later this week. It's actually sitting behind me right there. I don't know. You're probably not going to see it super well. It's a variant cover, which I do not typically chase very often, but it was a PC pickup. It's an IG comic store exclusive variant cover. There's only 600 of them made, but you'll see that in a video later this week. And I think that video is up Thursday or Friday, unless I move it. I might push it to Saturday. There'll be a big comic book video coming. I have 3 comic books on their way to me. I've just never been a Pokemon guy. I would go with Magic the Gathering before Pokemon because I know Magic cards. I mean, I don't know the market ins and outs, but like I know what dual lands are. I know what the Power 9 is. I played Magic pretty much entirely through middle school, on and off in high school, on and off in college. It's one of those games that I always go to and fro from. I still play it now. I just don't own any physical cards, but I play MTG Arena when the PC was running correctly almost daily. Yeah, but last year everything was delayed too. Like usually right now, Prism Basketball is hitting the shelves for the new class. Yeah, F1 stuff's going crazy. I mean, I remember when I had Hannah on months ago talking about F1, and people were not having it, and she was right, man. I didn't jump on board either. Once again, I only really want to buy stuff that I like. So if it ever goes to crap, I can fall back on the fact that I actually still like it. Yeah, you're always going to see that because it's the only thing available on the market. That is not a 2K card at all. That someone's going to seriously regret that decision. Supposedly he was, but I haven't heard anything. I'd be nervous holding any Panini redemptions. I don't know. I'm giving Baker an incomplete so far for this year because of the injuries. It's really hard to say. Like, they looked so good. The offense looked so good early in the season against the Chiefs and the Chargers and some of those other games. And then the offensive line got hurt. And then Beckham was a head case. And then Baker lost an arm. I mean, the season has gone off the rails quickly. I mean, I'm sure it's all supply chain issues. Yeah, we don't even have 20. There's still like 5 more products to come out for last year's NBA class. Can I at least get some freaking hoops cards? I would actually consider it would be the biggest mistake of my life ripping 20 or 21, 22 hoops. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. I don't know that he knows that I exist. I mean, I'm sure that he does. I don't know. I've commented on some of his videos before, but I've never talked to him directly. We have a lot of similarities. I watch his channel and I'm like, oh wow, like you're in the Marvel cards, you like PMGs. I have no sealed sports card wax. I have Marvel wax. I have no sealed sports card wax. And period, whether I bought recently or not, I just don't own any. Baker does like playing against the Bengals, that is for sure. No, I do not own any CGC Signature Series comics. I am not a big autographed comics guy. I prefer them non-autoed. Maybe with the exception of a Stan Lee on the right book, but I actually don't. I prefer my comic books non-autographed. That's why I like MTG Arena. I can play the game. I don't have to pay them any money. I have not put a single penny in the MTG Arena, and I have a ton of fun with it. Nope. I just doubled down on comics. I dove back down. That's tomorrow's video is going to be talking about sports cards versus comics. Because one of the things that I was curious about, and I don't want to get too far down this rabbit hole because it's literally tomorrow's video. The sports card market in general has been trending downward the last 30 to 60 days. I was curious if the comic book market has followed suit. And yes, some comics are down, some are way down, some are way up. But generally speaking, how are relative blue chip comic books holding up over the last 30, 60, 90 compared to most sports stuff being down anywhere from 10 to 30%, depending on the player and the card. So that's what tomorrow's video is. Yeah, I still haven't started it yet. I'm afraid if I will, I'll fall in love and then everything's expensive now. I mean, if you're going to go with one, that's the one to go with. The MJ PMG Red is an iconic card. I don't know if Charles is still in chat, if he has one of those or not. I know he has a ton of Marvel stuff. I don't know that we know. OBJ didn't look great last night. I would think a 300th winner, the 7th no hitter. If you're talking like Nolan Ryan. Most people associate, I mean, it sounds crazy now, but most people associate, if you polled people, I bet you more people associate PMGs with Marvel than they do with sports. Because there's really only, the Jordan is like the iconic PMG from the sports card side of things. And someone please correct me if I'm wrong, because PMG sports are not my forte. But they get a lot of hype on the comic book side. I would be willing to bet most people wouldn't even realize that PMGs were originally a sports card thing. Probably Kaboom. I just think they look a little bit better. No, I'm not a believer in Zion. I never have been. Nat Turner owns them. Does he own like all of them, or does he own like a large portion of them? Yeah, warranty repair. The video card. So anytime I would play a game. So like if I fired up Dota 2 or BattleTech or anything else that was mildly graphically intense, within about 3 minutes the screen would freeze. The system would keep running, no problem. But the screen would freeze. The game was still running because I could hear the game running. I could literally hear the game playing through my speakers, but my screen would be frozen. I could alt tab out and do whatever I wanted to. It wouldn't hard lock the entire system. And my GPU usage, because I had like the little, the monitor running or whatever, the GPU usage would spike from like 50% to like 120% and then crash back down again every time it would do it. So it's a BLD system, an NZXT or whatever it is. So I did their online support. They walked me through some stuff, and they were pretty sure it was a hardware problem. They definitely narrowed it down to the video card, and were fairly certain it was a hardware problem. And luckily, I bought it in December 2 years ago, and it's a 2-year warranty. So I had about 2.5 to 3 weeks left on the warranty. So if it was going to do it, good time to do it. But I had to wait for them to send me packing materials. Then I had to box it up and ship it back. So it went out today. So it's 5 to 7 business days till it gets back to me. Normally I'd be screwed, but I bought a MacBook Pro this year as a backup and to have as a travel computer for like at the National and stuff. So I am currently running off my MacBook Pro, but anyone that has MacBook Pro, it only has 2 freaking USB-C ports. So I have a USB hub hooked up to it with a bunch of shenanigans running into it. And then I was only able to hook up, I have one DisplayPort adapter to USB-C. So my main monitor, which is this right here, my big 30-inch monitor, is running that. And then my 2 side monitors are dead right now because I just don't have enough ports for them. So I'm running on my main screen and the laptop screen, a backup camera because I couldn't get my Canon camera to work. The software wouldn't work on the Mac. So I haven't bought baseball for a couple weeks now. I'm waiting to kind of see what happens with the labor thing. If there's bad labor news, which there probably is going to be, I don't think that the season ends up striking. There's going to be a strike. I mean, December 1st, once the agreement runs out, it's technically a strike. But do we lose actual games? I don't think so. But if the news gets bad enough, it could affect card prices. So there might be a bigger dip coming for baseball. So I've paused. Yes, I would crack an SGC 9.5 and get a PSA and shoot for a PSA 10 all day. Because if it comes back a PSA 9, it's probably going to sell for the same amount. So all you're losing out is the grading fee. So if it's worth the risk for you, then do it. Oh, I didn't even realize there was a North Carolina PMG, tell you the truth. Yeah, I saw HGA. I was trying to avoid this. I saw HGA did an update. I may talk about that this week. I may not. I really dislike talking about that company. Yes, HGA is indeed a mess. They had, what did they say, like 57 people out with COVID or something? That being said, I will comment on this. I read through Tyler's post. Don't bitch out customer service people. As someone that worked retail and electronics for a long period of time, don't be rude to customer service people. Odds are it's not their fault. So he had some pretty harsh statements about the way people were treating his customer service people, and I will say that's probably the biggest agreement I have ever had with Tyler. Yeah, PMGs. Yeah, I should have waited to get mine, but I didn't know that those were coming with that big of changes. Best place to sell a chrome refractor KD PSA 9. It depends on your connections. A card like that, I would reach out to some people, DM Sasha or Coleman or any of the other big time buyers on social, Roth, those guys, and see if they're interested in it. Even if you take a little bit of a hit on it and you don't maximize your value, there's something to be said for having a nice, clean, smooth transaction on a card like that. You could also consign it. That would be a card that you could consider consigning, like DC sports cards or Probstein or something. Oh, what you get, Jared? The rumor is a 2-month turnaround time, 1 to 2 months, depending on backlog. But we'll see. I'm curious to see what PMG you got. It's the only thing I missed the boat on. PMGs. I have some PMGs from X-Men Metal. I didn't get rid of any of them. I don't know if they're sitting right here or not. Might be. Where are my PMGs? But the PMGs out of X-Men Metal were super disappointing. Like, super disappointing. Yeah, I don't think I have any good ones. I have a Husk. Rip. Nothing cool there. Autofocus does not want to pick that up. Really? You'll pick up everything else, but you don't want to pick this up? Thunderbird, Arcade, and a Omega Red. But it's the base Omega Red. These just were just bad looking cards. They look pink, not red. There we go. Yeah, let me take this comment off so you guys can see better. But yeah, this was the biggest disappointment ever on this year's X-Men Metal, was how bad these PMGs looked. I mean, they're still nice, don't get me wrong. It's still a PMG, but definitely look pinkish, not red. The greens looked okay. I hit one green. I sold it. I don't remember who it was. Oh, it was Warlock. That one I got rid of. Help pay for the boxes. X-Men Metal had some cool stuff. Not gonna lie. Liked a lot of stuff out of X-Men Metal. The arc welds looked really good. Palladiums looked really good. Yeah, I was a big fan of these. Stupid camera. There we go. Little see-through cards. But I'm excited for Spider-Man Metal. I'm excited for that to come out and to rip. I really want to rip the Marvel box. I really want to rip a box of 95 Marvel Metal. But I do not have any. Oh, actually, I like the Sentinels. Big on Sentinels, obviously, as you can see behind me. I'd like an X-Men 14 at some point in time. That's been on my list for a while. It's always best to crack everything and send it in. If you try to send a crossover in already slabbed, 99% of the time they're going to not cross it. It's too hard for them to grade a card in a slab and tell that it's good. Yeah, you got to crack it. You know, I did not finish my metal set now that you say that. I still need like 4 high series cards. I just need to sit down. The binder's behind me in that cabinet right there. I just need to sit down and pick out the ones that I need and get it done. I could probably just pick them up on ComC for absolutely nothing. I don't know what happened to Sasha. I mean, he's still buying cards. I see him still post on IG that he's buying and selling. I'm actually wondering if, and I have not heard this from anyone, this is complete speculation on my part. I'm wondering if he's like part of something else that they're like filming for a documentary or something. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know why he would just disappear like that. We'll see. I don't know that we know. We'll see. But best guess maybe certain stuff, sure, but I don't think it's going to solve all the issues. Thank you. Just picked that up this week. Been hunting for one forever and finally grabbed one. Yes, I am excited about the Obi-Wan show and the Book of Boba Fett. 100 bucks a card, and they will not get buried in a backlog because they're going to cap it. I don't generally watch them. What was the take? It won't be 65 to 70 to start. They're going to roll out at 100 to start would be my guess. See how it goes, and then they'll eventually drop it in price a little bit. Would be my guess. I mean, he's still flipping. I follow him on IG. He's posting buying and selling cards all the time. So it's not like he's out of cards. He literally posts cards about 5 times a day that he's selling. So he did not get out of the card game at all. There was just a picture of him set up at the show with a great curator just over the weekend. So he's not out of the game. I just think something's going on with his content. I'm wondering if maybe he didn't want to deal with it anymore. I mean, it is a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Especially his style of stuff is a ton of work. So, but my speculation is that he has some sort of documentary thing going on or something. Would be my guess. Man, this autofocus is killing me on this camera. Keeps wanting to grab the Sentinel, which I don't mind, but yeah, I think he still sets up a lot of Burbank too. I mean, I'm not part of the LA card scene, but it's going to depend on demand. I think eventually they're going to have to. Every time PSA opens up a lower tier level of service, it puts more and more pressure on the other grading companies because their demand is going to diminish as more cards. Every time something else opens up, a few more cards are going to slide PSA's way. More and more traffic will keep heading that way. There's always going to be the diehards that are like, nope, never using them, F those guys, whatever. So. I mean, is he still being recorded? Like, are you still seeing him recording all the time too? Or no? Is he just flying solo with no camera? I mean, everyone's eBay sales are different. I kind of talked about that the other day. There's like a million marketplaces now. A lot of people are doing their business off eBay. That's pretty much just like anything, but I would agree with that statement. Can't hurt. I don't think it's going to be like, oh my God, everyone run. But I've seen a lot of those in person. I haven't had a chance to rip a box though. I think more and more people are pulling away from eBay. They don't want to deal with the fees and all the BS with the non-payers and stuff, is my guess. Brooklyn beating Golden State by a few points, it looks like. Check in to see how my underdog teams are doing that I drafted before I hopped on here. Surprised batteries have held up this well. How's this battery doing on this MacBook? Ooh, 17%. Whoa. LaMelo Rising, Zion done. I don't know that Zion's done, but yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to do a deal off eBay? I mean, it makes sense for both parties. You split the difference on some fees. You make a little bit more money, and the buyer saves a little bit of money because they get a little bit of a better deal on it, and they also don't have to pay sales tax on it. You know, whether you do the full 10% discount or like a 5% discount or something, there's a spot there in the middle where everyone's happy. You get a little extra juice out of the deal. You get to move the card. Buyer gets to save a little bit, and those little extra percentage points matter more than ever. It's not new tax BS. It's the same tax BS that's always been around. It's just actually being reported correctly. Keep that in mind. There's nothing new with the tax stuff. It's just new in the way that it's reported. You just can't avoid it anymore. Yeah, like as once again, people are talking about like eBay sales dipping and this, that, and the other thing. But you know, I was at the Ship Shawana show 2 weeks ago. It was freaking packed. I was at a trade night last weekend, this past Saturday at 101. It was packed. My local show is still just as busy for a couple hours in the morning. It has like a big peak in the morning for a few hours, and it tails off in the afternoon usually. But they also do it on a Sunday, which makes no sense. Why would you have a card show up against NFL football is beyond me. But we don't know what the star stock auctions are yet. I've gotten this question a lot in this live stream. I am withholding full judgment until we actually see what they are, because as of right now, I don't think it's what people think that they are. It seems like the deals off eBay thing is more regulated to the sports card thing. If you try it in the other avenues, it gets tricky. I just don't think people are used to that yet. Like I was trying to buy a HasLab Sentinel, and I was like messaging people like, "Are you on IG or anything like that?" And a lot of them were like, "No, like you could just communicate with me on here," like not picking up what I was putting down at all. So I feel like a lot of people. I think that's much more of a sports card thing. Even comic books, it's tough swinging deals off eBay on a lot of comic books. I've been having most of my success buying comics off eBay. I have not bought a lot of comics on eBay. There's a lot of really good IG sellers for comic books. Like comic book market has IG down, man. There are some really nice big consigners that list a ton of books. I've had a lot of luck buying books off IG lately. I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really. It just depends. You're technically not avoiding the tax. You're just evading the tax this year. Yeah, it definitely still gets the most eyeballs. That's for sure. I've never used Macari. I bought a sealed box of Marvel cards off Macari. That's it. Macari is weird. I didn't necessarily understand. For sure. But I mean, people like in the card market, people are smart now. They just make their eBay user ID the same as their IG. And that's the first thing most people go to look to whenever you're buying and selling on eBay. When I'm buying or selling sport cards on eBay, like that's one of the first things people look at, I think, is just go look up the user ID to see if it's on IG under the same name, which if it's not, you're making a mistake. Yeah, always use PayPal goods and services, obviously. For sure. Yeah, Whatnot's another good place for comic books. I haven't bought anything on there yet. I really like a lot of the Instagram claim sales, but I did watch. I've been spending more time. I've actually been spending more time on Whatnot. I haven't bought anything yet, but I spent a ton of time in Card Collector 2 had a big sale on Whatnot the other night during Monday Night Football. I just had it on while I was watching Monday Night Football in case something popped up that I wanted. And there's a lot of good comic book sellers on there. I watched on Wednesdays. There's like a huge block It's like Comic Tom, Nerdy Girl Comics, and like 4, 5, or 6 other people that are all like back to back to back to back that get on and sell. No, I don't get a receipt when I buy a card from a dealer. I've never seen that. Yeah, a lot of states already have this, but most people that are in states that know that are already well aware of it. Probably wrap up pretty soon here because my laptop battery is getting a little low, 15%. So we'll go for just a little bit more here. Probably wrap up pretty soon. So if you have any last minute questions, get it in. It doesn't start till next year, but some states have had the $600 cap for a while for state taxes. Remember, it's not just federal. There's federal, state, and city, depending on where you live. But a lot of states already had a $600 threshold in place. So some people have been dealing with this forever. That's why this isn't like a super new thing. That is the Trial of Magneto Virgin variant from IG Comic Store, coming to a mail day video near you in about 2 days. Video's already recorded. I've preferred Whatnot to Loop so far. Marvel sketch cards are cool. I don't know a ton about them. They're very unique, and I know depending on the artist, they command big bucks. Depending on the artist and the character, there are some massive Marvel sketch card collectors, and they will do whatever it takes to get the cards that they want. And some of that stuff sells for a ton of money. I don't know anything about chess cards. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We will see. I mean, I'm still bullish on the card market long term for sure, but I just think we have some a little bit of rocky water ahead of us for a little while. Just the normal in-season dips and stuff. So, but I firmly believe Fanatics brings a lot of new eyes in. Whether you like Fanatics or not, or what they may end up doing, the one thing I know is, well, I shouldn't say I know because I don't know, but the one educated guess I'll make is they're going to market the hell out of sports cards like we have never seen before. So, if nothing else, it's going to have a massive marketing push behind it. So in 5 years, who are going to be, LeBron will be, well, maybe LeBron will be out of the league. There's going to be a lot of people coming into the market that grew up watching LeBron. It'll be Giannis's league probably by then. Maybe Luka will be a who knows what team by then. And who knows who else. Ja, guys that we don't even know about. Guys that are in the league right now that we're not expecting to break out that could. There's always those guys that kind of come out of nowhere, like Zach LaVine's kind of coming out now. Who knows? Who knows what things look like? But I just have faith that a lot of new people are going to come into the hobby. We may lose some people between now and then, but I just feel like the marketing budget they're going to throw behind it is going to be astronomical. Yeah, this is the one that's the homage of the arcade cabinet artwork. It's a really cool cover. Like I'd go back and get it, but like I said, I'm there. You kind of see it a little bit there. But it'll be in a mail day video later this week. Same places you would sell sports cards: IG, Facebook groups, eBay, MySlabs. Nothing different. PSAs is still a way out with submitting lower tiers. CGC is finally caught up. Thought about sending a few out there before they get very good. Yes, PSA is still a ways out. CGC, you're talking about comic books, not cards. And they're not caught up. They're caught up on opening boxes. So when you read that press release fully, they have a massive backlog. They're caught up on opening boxes. If you're talking about CGC as in the comic grading, if you're talking about CSG as the card grading, they are also caught up on opening boxes, but also have a massive backlog. People are really misreading that CGC statement that came out today. They're caught up on opening up boxes. That's it. They have piles and piles of stuff to grade still. Yeah, reread it. Reread it. The headlines make it sound like they're caught up. They are on opening up packages. But they still have a lot of work to do in regards to the packages. Indeed. Man, this camera does not want to. I'll just let it autofocus in on the Sentinel and just be done with it. Anyone else got anything last minute that we want to talk about? Been going for about 90 minutes here, so we'll go ahead and wrap here pretty soon. Probably wrap up real quick here. So if you got last minutes, questions, comments, concerns, fire them in there. If you have not hit the like button, I don't think I've mentioned it, smash the like button. I don't know how many we have, but I'm sure it's not enough. I don't know why, but hit the like button. Who the hell knows? We haven't even seen, we talked about this earlier. We haven't even seen Flawless from last year. They still have last year product to release. So who knows when we see it? I'm going to guess like first of the year at this point. I don't think we see it by Christmas. I really don't. I don't see how they get it out before Christmas. I don't know if it's supply chain issues. They're just screwed up because they're backed up from last year. I don't know what the deal is. I know nothing about soccer cards. I think he's just a role player at best, but I've been wrong before. I work in healthcare during the week, but I don't use real money to buy all this junk. I use fake money. So whatever I make off of flipping and trading and from the YouTube channel is what I buy all the dumb stuff with. No money from my actual real job pays for any of this shenanigans. All the cards that I buy and all the comic books that I buy come from either flipping or YouTube revenue or that sort of nonsense. All the collectibles come from side hustle money. Real money goes into a completely separate checking account. They're cleared up on packages, but they still have a backlog on comics. Not sure how long. I don't grade comics. I just buy them already graded. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to help you out with that one. Should I grade Lamello Optic base? Do the math. Got to do the math equation. How much does it cost to grade? How much does it resell for if you get a 9 or a 10? Is it worth it? Just run the math equation. Grading is a math equation. Easy math equation, but it is a math equation. Yeah, I'm going to go watch the settle in for a little bit, watch the second half of this Nets Golden State game. It's almost halftime. Lou Dort to the moon. Lou Dort has been playing really good recently. Been using him a lot in FanDuel. I wouldn't be surprised by anything. I really wouldn't be surprised by anything regarding the supply chain issues that the entire world. There is no perfect answer to this question. Only one person usually gets to buy the card at the absolute lowest price. So good luck. All right, I think we'll go ahead and wrap up there. We're going to hit exactly 90 minutes. So smash the like button, subscribe. Tomorrow's video, give you guys a sneak peek, is comics versus sports cards. Then I have a mail day video coming later in the week that is Marvel centric. It's a comic book and a card. And then I have an open slot which will probably be Thursday's video, I'll probably discuss whatever Star Stock rolls out. I'm just waiting to see. I almost recorded a video today, and then I saw their CEO's doing a live stream tomorrow night. So I'm just going to hold off and wait to see what he has to say to get some more clarity on the matter. So that'll probably be Thursday's video. Friday's video will be a mail day. Not sure about Saturday. I really wanted to do a wax video, but this week just got away from me. So maybe we'll push that to next week or try to sneak that out on Saturday. And then if all my packages arrive, there'll be a massive mail day video next week. I bought the two decent sized comic book, one middle sized comic book and one lower end comic book off A1. And then I have another large package coming with a pretty massive item that will have me pause in spending for a little bit until I sell some stuff or get some money flowing back in the coffers. We're on a pause from buying for a little while. So yeah, smash the like button on your way out the door, notification bells, subscribe if you haven't, all that dumb YouTube stuff. So everyone have a good night. Peace.